Madam President, thank you very much. And I want to thank Senator Cassidy and Congressman Scalise and all the people who are here today behind me. And really, more than any of us, all the first responders here in Jefferson Parish and across the state of Louisiana who have been working so hard and so well. I do want to announce that I've been informed that the President has accepted my invitation. He will be coming to Louisiana on Friday. I don't know exactly what time or what his itinerary is, but I do appreciate the fact that he's going to come, because there's nothing quite like visiting in person. Much like Cynthia just told you, when you see it for yourself, it is just so much more compelling than when you hear about it or read about it, or maybe even you just see it on TV. Our people have taken a pretty good lick here from Hurricane Ida. But our people are very resilient and strong as well. Having said that, we need all the help that we can get from the federal government, from the nonprofit sector, from the faith community, and certainly from us at the state level and working with our local partners as well. We were able to fly over Grand Isle and Jean Lafitte and much of South Louisiana yesterday. On the way over here today, we flew over a different part of Jefferson Parish. There's significant damage everywhere. We've got a lot of work to do. I do want to start with a couple of pieces of positive news. One of which is, and I am very careful about what I say, but there are certain ways in which we've been very blessed. As I stand before you today, there are 2 confirmed fatalities. And when you think about the sheer magnitude of utter devastation, the fact that that's where we are is miraculous. Now, it's our job to make sure that we don't lose more people unnecessarily because of carbon monoxide poisoning and accidents and so forth, and heat exhaustion. Also, we can be, we're blessed because our levees held up. They performed the way that they were supposed to. And that was the Hurricane Risk Reduction System here in the Jefferson and Orleans area, but also other federal and non-federal levees all across southeast Louisiana. That death total would have been much, much higher had that not happened. We've also got a little good news in that the President signed a major federal disaster declaration that I requested, and that means for the first 30 days after landfall, the federal government's cost share will be 100% for Category A, which is debris removal, and Category B, which is emergency protective measures. He also approved individual assistance and public assistance. Now, the public assistance is at 75%. But everybody out there who is a Hurricane Ida survivor needs to apply to FEMA for individual assistance. It doesn't happen automatically. You can apply online at disasterassistance.gov, or you can call 1-800-621-3362. I can tell you that in the last day and a half, they've set records for how many people have applied so quickly, and quite frankly, they've gotten tens of millions of dollars out the door to those families as well. So it's very important that people apply. A little more good news is that there were some areas that actually started to have power restored today, principally in New Orleans with the feed that came in from New Orleans East. Critically important to show some progress there, and I believe that's going to continue to build over the coming days. And it's going to be wonderful when everybody gets their lights back on. We are asking people to try to be patient and understanding, because anytime you have a storm that is this devastating, it will take some time to get all of that infrastructure back up and working. But I believe we're going to see steady progress from this point forward. And I am mindful it's not just a matter of convenience, and it's not just a matter of comfort for air conditioning. It really is about life-saving. We have dozens and dozens of hospitals and nursing homes and other critical facilities right now operating on generator. It is typically only a matter of time before a generator may fail. So we are trying to get backup generators on site that are properly sized to each of those facilities, with the technicians, with all the fuel, trying to move the water where the water needs to be, because you can't run a hospital and so forth without water. A lot of challenges, but we're starting to see the lights come back on in some places. Today, more than 11,000 homes and businesses were restored. Now, we were over 1 million, so I'm very mindful that it's a start, and only a start. In terms of electrical infrastructure, I think you know that we've got transmission lines and distribution lines and substations, and there is tremendous devastation further south in Terrebonne and Lafourche parishes. The co-op Sleeka, they're going to have to rebuild their system. They're saying in their 83-year history, they've never been devastated as they were in this storm. But I can tell you, we've got some good news out there too, as I mentioned, with certain hospitals, including in St. Tammany and New Orleans East, being powered back up. I'm going to announce here the Blue Roof program has commenced, and I want to thank the Corps of Engineers. They will oversee that, and they've been tasked by FEMA to run this program. The Operation Blue Roof program is about getting as many houses into livable condition as possible. So if you sustained roof damage, we really want you to take advantage of this program. The eligible parishes are those that we know sustained hurricane force winds. So it's not every parish that was approved for individual assistance. And I'm going to read the parishes out right now, and I'm going to try to go slowly. Ascension, Jefferson, Lafourche, Livingston, Orleans, Plaquemines, St. Bernard, St. Charles, St. James, St. John the Baptist, St. Tammany, Tangipahoa, Terrebonne Parish, and I think that's it. And this is a service that is free to the homeowners that qualify. After the blue roof is installed, the structure is declared habitable. Now, what that means is, if your roof is gone, but so is the rest of your house, you're not going to qualify, because when they put the roof on, you need to have a habitable house. But if you have any questions about that, you call the number that I'm about to give you. You apply online, and someone will come out. Storm debris also has to be removed from the roof as well. Residents can sign up for the program at blueroof.us. Blueroof.us, and you're going to have to sign a right of entry form that gives the contractor the authority to come onto your property. You can also sign up by calling toll free at 888 Roof Blue, and that's ROOFBLU. 1-888-766-3258. So that's how you register for the Blue Roof program. To share with you all a little experience we had with this program last year in Southwest Louisiana. After Hurricane Laura, the Corps of Engineers ran this program, put up 13,000 or 14,000 blue roofs. I can tell you that when a few weeks later Delta came in, it was very apparent which homeowners had had their roofs repaired under the Blue Roof program, because those tarps remained in place, and those that had done it themselves. So I'm encouraging homeowners out there to take advantage of this program. We have seen the difference it can make, and we still have a lot of hurricane season left to go. As of this morning, there were 2,591 people being sheltered in 31 shelters across the state. If you are looking for a shelter, if you have any questions, please text LA Shelter to 898-211 or dial 211. There will be some people who are trying to ride it out, and you're going to find that your home is not functioning well. Maybe it was damaged in addition to not having electricity or water, and at some point you may need a shelter. Please, if you need a shelter, call, and we will make sure that we have a place for you. If you are currently evacuated, please do not come back until you know from your parish emergency operations center that it is the time to do so. Really, we cannot sustain people. Stores aren't open, schools aren't open, pharmacies aren't open. Our hospitals are very challenged. You don't have electricity, you don't have water. So if you come back, you know, a lot of bad things can happen. So please be patient as best you can. I do want to announce that Louisiana has received a hot food waiver from the USDA to allow SNAP recipients to use benefits to purchase hot or prepare foods. That will run through September the 28th. It's only available at retail locations that normally accept the SNAP EBT cards. So you can't go to a restaurant, but if there's a store out there that actually happens to have hot food, and they take normally the SNAP cards, the EBT cards, you can use it. If you've got if you want DSNAP updates, you can text DSNAP to 898-211. As I mentioned before, only 2 storm-related deaths thus far. I do expect that number will rise because coroners will attribute deaths to the storm that happen after the storm, so long as they're connected in some way. There are currently 212 water outages that are impacting more than 600,000 people. This is what the president was talking about. There are also 95 boil advisories that impact over 400,000 people in Louisiana. Generator safety, please keep your generators 20 feet away from your homes in a well-ventilated area, not in your home, not in a crawl space, not in a garage, not under a window or a vent. And please cool them off for 20 minutes before you refuel them. I can tell you that the Department of Transportation has used their buses to transport more than 1,200 people throughout the event, and they're going to stay on place. They've got more than 200 buses and paratransit vehicles. There remain 73 weather-related closures across the state. So the point here is, while the interstates are open and the major U.S. highways are open, once you get off of those, there are a lot of road closures. Please go to 511la.org before you leave your house to make sure you can get where you're going. Bridge inspections have begun, but understand that there are more than 1,500 bridges just in the North Shore and New Orleans, greater New Orleans areas. They all have to be inspected. The CPRA is conducting dewatering operations in Lafourche, Plaquemines, St. Bernard, St. Charles. They're starting in Jefferson. I think the Corps of Engineers, General Spellman went down today with Chip Klein of the CPRA looking to start dewatering efforts in the Jean Lafitte area. But it's also happening in St. John the Baptist. And if you've seen Laplace, you can just see it from the interstate. You know that the water is a real problem there. They are still doing inspections, the CPRA, on the hurricane risk reduction system and all the other levees to make sure that any damage gets repaired, because we are still in hurricane season. I want you to know the entirety of the Louisiana National Guard is activated, 5,659 guardsmen in support of current operations. They actually conducted 17 points of distribution, so this is a distribution of commodities, things like water and tarps and MREs. They did those in Lafourche and Tangipahoa and St. James, Orleans, St. John, St. Charles, Plaquemines, and here in Jefferson Parish today. And there will be more pods open tomorrow than today. All total, and these are just the state agencies, and this is a very small number of the total who've been rescued. But state agencies have rescued a total of 636 people and 73 pets. I want you to know we have 21 search and rescue teams from about 17 different states on hand in Louisiana right now. And I thank all the governors of those other states, because it's not just those rescue teams, it's National Guardsmen. We have state troopers coming in from other states to assist in law enforcement. We have sheriff's deputies coming in from other states. And the truth is, just like we all work so hard together here, that happens all across the country as well. So we appreciate that. To talk about something that is obviously difficult at a time like this, it further complicates all of our efforts. We did start reporting our COVID numbers again today. And since the last time they were reported 4 days ago, there have been 12,380 new cases. And with many, many testing sites down, we know that the number is much higher than that. Over the last 4 days, 223 additional people have died. That brings us to 12,582. There are 2,447 hospitalized across the state, and 446 of those are on ventilators. And I want you to think about that, because many of them are in this region operating on generator power. Now, I'm very thankful that there's 2,447 today, because there were well over 3,000 just a couple of weeks ago. I will tell you, the mask mandate worked, because the percent positivity started going down 2 weeks after we reimposed it, and so did our cases, and so did our hospitalizations. Not our deaths yet, because those are always a lagging indicator. It's a very difficult time. Did sign a new public health emergency order today that will extend the mask mandate till September the 29th. State offices will be closed in a number of parishes, and I hate to say this, but they've asked me to give those out. And these parishes are going to be closed through the remainder of the week, right? All right, so it will be Tuesday after Labor Day when some of these will go back to work. But they are Ascension, Assumption, East Baton Rouge, East Feliciana, Iberville, Jefferson, Lafourche, Livingston, Orleans, Plaquemines, St. Bernard, St. Charles, St. Helena, St. James, St. John the Baptist, St. Tammany, Tangipahoa, Terrebonne, Washington, and West Feliciana. Finally, and then I'm going to ask Senator Cassidy and then Congressman Scalise to come up. The fuel problem is very significant. We understand the challenges associated with that. It's impacting all of our recovery efforts. We have had as many as 8 refineries down. That was as of yesterday. I think 1 or 2 of those may have come back up, but it is a significant problem because the fuel just isn't available to us the way we would want it to be. We are working with our federal partners, with the business community, with Louisiana Mid-Continent Oil and Gas Association, you name it, to try to identify bulk fuel that can be brought in. We did have a little win today. We got a waiver approved upon our request by the IRS, so we're going to be able to use off-road or the red dye diesel in the parishes of southeast Louisiana only for 15 days, and we're looking to try to make that available. But that, again, that's only diesel.